them come. This is their fate.
They finished.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got plenty of topics because there was plenty of stuff that came out of Gamescom afterwards. There's plenty of good games that dropped. Weird controversy going around Starfield and plenty more to talk about. But before we get started, as usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you've been playing, how life going, anything fun, notable that you want to share with the audience.
Let's see where to start. This week is been, well, weather-wise, like it's starting to be typhoon season in Japan, so it's gonna rain some like one day, and the next day it's like 90 degrees.
Rain been trash for the last couple of days, and I've been trying to get my deck painted, and it's been terrible.
Oh yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah, continue.
No, late summer rain.
Yeah.
It's annoying because it's still hot and muggy, but like you said, you can't do stuff because you want to go outside as well.
Yeah.
So we've been mostly inside trying to stay out of the heat. That heat stroke is real, so you gotta drink some water and stay cool.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Otherwise, still trying to clear out my backlog. But I did start a new game finally. Picked up Armored Core 6 and been playing that a bit, mostly on my PC, and then a little bit on the Steam Deck. It runs like not the best on the Steam Deck, but I feel like with some tweaks, like if I were to, because I haven't really dived into all the extra like applications and stuff to like really push the Steam Deck. I feel if you did that, you probably can get the game to run it full 60 all the time, but it's fine in the training mode, like where I'm like testing out weapons and stuff like that. It runs at like 60, but in the actual missions, it doesn't. It's at like 40. So
Gotcha.
I'm okay with just playing on the Steam Deck just to test out different stuff, and then I'll play on my computer when I'm ready to like go fight bosses. So, but it's real good, real fun. Armored Core is like playing, like control wise, it feels like you're playing with Farah because you have to like fly and float, and manage your energy, and I guess Valkyrie as well because you have your energy that make you fly. It's difficult. There's a lot of people online complaining that it's more difficult than Dark Souls, and like the first tutorial boss, you have to beat them, and they're like, the Souls games tutorial bosses are always like difficult, but in Armored Core you have to beat them, and a lot of people can't beat them. And I get why that would suck because they start you out in the mission, and then you can't like go to the customize or anything like that until after you beat the boss. So it's funny. Yeah. Other than that, playing Divinity 2, still that's really, really good writing, really good characters and story. I like it a lot, and once I'm done with that, I'll probably jump right into Baldurs Gate. But that's probably, unfortunately, going to be after Starfield, because Starfield is basically here, and it's going to be the next game that a lot of people playing, and I'll try to check it out, see how much I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. What about you, Jalen? What you been up to? What you been playing? How you been doing? Duck and rain season?
Shoot, I ain't really been doing too much. I haven't had a whole lot of rain here. We just had that heat wave. That was the only significant weather event that we really had. Other than that, like I said, a little bit of Overwatch. I've been dodging me and stuff like that. It's cool. I was playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 16. I've been dodging me. It's cool.
Ain't nobody dodging you. I ain't letting you get that off. Ain't nobody dodging you.
Too late. But other than that, I mean, it ain't really been a whole lot going on my way, truth be told.
Yeah, just chilling, playing some Final Fantasy.
Then it's
Okay.
like working out and stuff like that. So basketball game tomorrow, all that good jazz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm still doing the same stuff I was doing last time, trying to get the house together. But I've been playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm pretty sure I'm at the end, um, and I haven't been moved, and I'm still feel the same way. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna beat it and still feel like it's a 6 out of 10 game. And it's unfortunate because, I mean, they did put a lot of money behind it, but unfortunately, I've played better games, and that's just my opinion. It's not for everybody. I think a select few people will enjoy it for what it is, and I want to I want to amend my statements. My statement, or at least my point is that Final Fantasy 16 is not a good game to me. It's not a good game because I've seen things done better elsewhere. I haven't seen a soundtrack or maybe the production level of the spectacle moments done better elsewhere, but I've seen gameplay, I've seen story, I've seen pacing, I've seen exploration. It's linear, but I've seen all of that done better elsewhere. So there's nothing here that's driving me to keep playing Final Fantasy 16 out of solely saying that I beat it and I can harshly judge it the way I want to, because it is not for me. And I don't want to kind of play it halfway through and not beat it. So I'm literally like at the last boss and I'm fighting them, and it's not interesting. It's not engaging for me. They do a few things really good, and then they just don't do anything else right. And that's why it's going to stick at that 6 out of 10 for me. But for others, it could be a 9. For others, it could be an 8. It could be a 10 for all I care. It's just more so about your preferences and what you truly play. I am a true action RPG-esque person. I play those with a passion, and this is subpar, unfortunately. But I think because it's the Final Fantasy world, if you enjoy Final Fantasy that much, you might find things that you enjoy about the game outside of just the story that it's providing you, because it's still Final Fantasy, blah blah blah. It may have a different world, but it got those quirks and things that people are charmed by. I'm not one of those people, so I'm just not going to be caring about most of it. If it's the nostalgia callbacks, I don't know. It goes over my head. So really, I'm just playing it for what the story is providing, and unfortunately, the story itself, very much so, Tales of Arise. And that was better to me. I'm just saying. I'm saying it was better to play Tales of Arise than this. But I'm just gonna say that and leave it, because I don't want to keep harping on that game, because some people really truly enjoyed it. It's just not for me.
Do the
Go ahead.
just real quick. Do the combo. That's a combo. Do the combat get a word in depth? I mean, obviously, I think they get a
No,
little
it
more
does
in depth,
not.
but I feel like it's a lot of
It does not.
just hitting square.
Just hitting square, like constantly. And I literally was to a point where I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't have no rings on. I knew that as long as I kept dodging, I was not going to get hit. It was very much so not an engaging combat to play. And that's probably why I'm so disengaged from it now, because it's just not even interesting to change stuff together, because I just know it's useless. It's all useless. It's not very much so like balanced in a way where you feel like, oh, I got to do these combos to really win. I've been challenged once, and it wasn't like it was a challenge where I was like, oh, this is difficult. It was like, oh, he got a one hit. So I just got to make sure I keep dodging, because then I got plenty of potions. I got plenty of things. It's just, if you want to challenge, you got to challenge yourself. You got to make, oh, let me put a handicap on myself. Let me not use any potions during this entire fight. Things like that. It's not the game that's going to challenge you. And anybody that said it's hard has never played any game that's difficult, because this is not a difficult game. And that's
Square
probably,
in R1, or is it L1? No, I think it's square in R1. That's all you be pressing.
Square in R1. Yep. I have not used the block mechanic. I don't care to use the parry. Most of the time, we still clash anyway. It's not like I'm timing it. I'm just swinging my sword. Like I said, it's not engaging gameplay. But if you like Final Fantasy story-esque games, you might enjoy other parts of it. And you might think this is the best thing since sliced bread, because honestly, this is a new medium, or at least a new way of delivering combat and gameplay for Final Fantasy. It's just not new to me. So, and a lot of people have played other action games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, blah blah blah, that are probably better, but they probably don't never get. They never have that production level of the soundtrack of the story or the spectacle moments, like having big bombastic things happening on screen that's truly like amazing. Like I've gotten that. It's just not enough. So still a 6 out of 10 to me. But outside of that, I've been trying to get through that, and I've been trying to finish up Zelda and been just preparing for Starfield. I don't know if I'm going to be super disappointed or I'm going to be super happy, but I bought way too much merch now to not be invested in playing it, at least when it first comes out. I mean, I like all the Starfield merch because it's cool to me, but it's not. I don't know if this game is going to be good. So I'm just trying to, simmer expectations, keep my cool head about me. But hopefully it's a good game, because I don't want to have bought a controller. Like I said, I bought that controller and the game suck. But from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, the ramblings on the internet, which we're going to talk about too, because there's a lot of controversy around this game. And a lot of fake information just floating around, and a lot of people just making stuff up. I honestly feel like X or Twitter getting that ad stuff made Twitter so much worse than it used to be. Like now I just see a bunch of filler dumb articles or dumb things people are posting just to get the clicks, and it just feels so out of place now. Like I don't know if I just was never in tune to Twitter like this, or if Starfield is so big that I have to see it. Like I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I'm seeing a lot more garbage. Yeah, I think
it's definitely the algorithm. They want engagement. And now that you can hide the blue check mark as well, like a lot of the comments, not everyone, but a lot of the comments that are going to show up right on top of your feed are all promoted, and they're whatever gets the most engagement, which is, oh, did you see this in Starfield, blah blah blah, the water is whatever, and then that's going to get a bunch of engagement. People going to comment on it that it's fake, or people going to all join in and dogpile on it. So that's the problem with the platform. That's why I try to personally stay off there now, because it's just like a cesspool of
negativity.
Negativity and trolls.
Like I don't see any good posts anymore, and I'm just like, this wasn't like this 3 months ago. So I'm just like, I don't see anything positive. It's either you're one way or the other way. Nothing's neutral. Nothing's like even when I follow people that I know are neutral in this like gaming space, and they get buried, and all I get is the same promoted garbage that I may end up reading, never interacting with, but I guess because my eyeballs read the stupidity, now I have to train my eyeballs to catch stupidity at the first line and like move on, because then my algorithm is just entirely stupidity. I don't comment, I don't do anything, but because I guess I sit there and I read what that information was, it basically keeps it pulling them to my algorithm, and I hate it. But yeah. X is kind of like bad, but at the same time, I guess that's what they want. They want the advertisement. They want people to be engaged in the filler crap and the stuff that they find engaging. But yeah, I'm really starting to feel like I just can't use Twitter, or X like that. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some Starfield stuff. A lot of controversy around that. We're probably gonna talk straight into that, but anything else before we move into topics that y'all want to say at the beginning? No? Okay. Let's move into the topics. Let's start there. Let's start at Starfield. So obviously you guys know I'm excited for the game. I know Josh is. Jalen probably does not care the slightest. I don't even know if he installed it, but you do get it on September 6th. With all the rest of us, Jalen, because it is in Game Pass, but it's a Bethesda game, and I think we have gotten your sentiment on Bethesda games. You don't play them for the bugs. So there's plenty of things that have come out that were technically. Oh, go ahead. Or you said something?
I was gonna say I played Dishonored. That count. I like that game. But.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, it does count. I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't want to take credit away from you. I mean, you played a Bethesda game. That's good. I mean, we've played like Doom. I've seen Bethesda games that didn't have bugs. I haven't seen Bethesda Game Studios games that didn't have bugs. Like, I haven't seen like the Fallouts, the Skyrims, blah blah blah. It's not like those games usually, but things published by Bethesda, I have seen some clear. Luckily, the reports are coming out that Starfield is probably one of their least buggiest games. I don't know who's backing it, but obviously we've heard from Phil and we heard from, I think, Mike about it, but that's about it. But the controversy that I keep seeing on my Twitter feed and everything is simply that, it is not a continuous walk around the planet. Like this large planet, they want to be able to explore it from where you touch down to go all the way around and go back to where you started. Like, that is something that people are making a knock for the game. And I guess I kind of wanted to start at that one, because that's like the one that's been like constantly being pulled up in my feed, but it's plenty of others. When you first saw that, Josh, what did you think?
I'll be honest, it didn't matter too much to me, because I had the expectation that it's not going to be a seamless world when they first showed it off like 2 years ago, and they said you can't fly in and out of atmosphere freely. Like, you have to select land, and then you land. Like, that means it's going to load a different level, and you're going to load into the planet. And like that, well, one, there are games, like, obviously people's going to compare it to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, You can do all of that stuff. You can land on a planet, you can go all the way around the planet. It had like real what do you call it, day-night cycles and stuff like that. And it was more simulation of the universe, but at the same time, at least when that game came out, it was lacking all of the other features like story and characters and quests and stuff like that. So I'm personally okay with that if the space that they provide is still an interesting RPG. Because, like, even like another RPG, like, I don't want a giant field that goes on forever if there's nothing to do there. So I don't care that I can't go all the way around the planet, because I'm not going to go all the way around the planet. I'm going to go to the main city, I'm going to check out a couple caves, and I'm going to go to the next planet. So I'm personally okay with that if the quality is there. And that's always going to be the thing with Bethesda. If the quality is high enough, you will enjoy the content that you're doing and keep playing. Like, I enjoyed Fallout 3 when I played it. It had a lot of stuff to do. You can go into like subways and stuff like that and fight zombies and all that stuff. But if the quality is not there, kind of like what people are saying with Fallout 76, when you're just wandering around doing nothing, then it sucks. So I'm okay with it. I think this is overblown, and I don't know if anybody is really mad about that, because I feel like this was kind of expected for this game at least, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think these, like I said, all of these are getting pulled out of thin air in a space, and it's like, because it is Twitter hot, I'm thinking that everybody has a problem with. But honestly, if you pull yourself off of like certain platforms, I don't think these are big hot topics outside of certain mediums that are trying to kind of create some type of negativity around Starfield. For me, I had two reactions. First, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. And then I realized, after kind of reading into it, that I don't really want that, because I'm probably not, like, once I realized that, again, they have 1,000 planets, I'm not going to explore that much. I'm just going to go get the things I need, and I'm probably going to leave. And honestly, I
1,000
prefer.
planets and space stuff, like you landing on ships and stuff. So
Yeah, I just
nobody
don't.
got time to explore every nook and cranny.
No, and I don't think that's fun either. I like when you can fast travel. I did play I played a decent amount of No Man's Sky after a while, but I didn't play it much. I didn't like. I say like it had to be around like 8 hours tops. 8 hours. That's not a lot. But I played when it got better, and I played it when it first came out. When I played it after it got better, I didn't like having to go into the atmosphere and like kind of get through or make sure that I'm taking off and properly. I liked it the auto travel. I liked it the one where I could actually just leave and kind of go to where I needed to go. And it wasn't like I played it for that long, but I felt like No Man's Sky had too much in between the action for me that I didn't enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And Starfield is kind of closing that gap where maybe I'm just going to go action to action. I don't have to think about, oh, I got to get the right trajectory to get out of this. I got to have the right fuel. Or it's like those little minuscule things that I'm probably not going to enjoy to kind of micromanage. I'm just trying to have fun in the game. And if they're giving me 40 minutes before 10 minutes purely running towards the edge before I actually get stopped and explore, I think that's a pretty large map. I think that's a pretty large area to explore. And if I got 1,000 planets I can do that on, I think that's a pretty endless gameplay. And then you don't have to literally just land in one place. You can go another area and generate another space for you to explore, and it has more activities and things for you to do. Like that is what I consider a pretty expansive game that will continue to allow you to have that more of a streamlined approach to gaming. I just don't want to feel like I'm having to do chores to get around to places, because then it's not fun for me anymore. It's not fun for me to go explore because I have to think about all these other things. There's some things that are cool to think about, but then there's a lot of overbearing things that just makes the game and bogs it down to make it where it's not fun anymore. It's not an actual game. It's like a simulation. And that's kind of like the essence of Star Citizen, or the essence of a No Man's Sky, where they have the ability to go seamless in and out, and you don't have to break for a loading screen or something like that. I kind of want the pre-generated stuff because it kind of makes me feel like my time is not being wasted of me just running around a barren planet, because they can do it, and I'm not saying that there's pros and cons to each. I just think because I'm more pro don't waste my time right now, like I just don't have that much time, I don't feel like that would be a problem for me. If I can go 45 minutes on a planet or an hour on a planet and explore a lot of it and find fun and cool things to do on said planet and then leave, I think my time wasn't wasted of me just exploring for hours and hours and having to walk around and not truly know where something's going to be explorable. Like, they dedicate a space on the map for me to kind of have fun on, versus just going to a barren planet and not being able to figure out where the activities truly are. Like, I'm fine with that, but I get it that some people might be like, oh, that sucks. But again, you have to think it's 1,000 planets. I don't think you're going to ever get to all 1,000 planets. And you're probably going to stay on the main solar system for quite a while. You might do 20, but you ain't doing no 1,000. So I just really I really understand where people don't like pre or what they call it, the generated generated maps or things like that. But there's no way you can make this game and not do that. There's just no way possible. And now will their system be very good and make it feel like it's fresh? That's yet to be seen. But for me to feel bad about having an invisible wall, running 10 minutes down in a straight line, yeah, I'm not too pressed about it. So my initial reaction though was that that kind of sucks. I would think you would be able to walk around the whole planet, but after I realized what I'm really asking for and what the limitations are of a system and the limitations of what people can really do, no, I'm straight. I think I kind of, it just didn't make sense. I formulated that from constant reading through people's comments and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I guess you got a point. But I really don't, I guess I just don't want to make sure people don't feel like I'm just bashing their view. I just think that this is an unwarranted concern. If your viewpoint is that this is a deal breaker for you, then fine, it's a deal breaker. But I think even you, the person that is out there thinking that you want to run around an entire planet, I think that's going to be pretty boring for you. And I don't think you're going to enjoy yourself. So I don't have a concern with that. There was another one in regards to, I don't know how big of it was, but it was the shoot, now I can't remember. It was the Starfield. Was it just that? No, it was something else. Now I can't think of it. I don't think it was the frame rate anymore. People kind of got past that. Is 30 FPS is fine. It was it wasn't the size of the game. I think it was the I guess people were upset with Microsoft for taking away the $1 Game Pass trial. I kept seeing that too. Right. I mean, I get it. It's the highest grossing. It's probably going to be one of their higher grossing games in a very long time. That's why they probably put out these physical Constellation Game Pass upgrades, because they know people want this merch and they know people want this stuff. So they're doing a bunch of things. Like, I seen the Elgato Stream Deck with Starfield stuff on it. I said, what the heck are they doing? Are they just partnering with everybody? But I mean, I understand what they're doing. I think they understand that this is a big game. It's pretty large, and people want to kind of take in everything that they can for Starfield. And them giving it away for $1 for the month doesn't really make sense. So, yeah, I get that they took away the $1 Game Pass. But what are your thoughts, Josh? What do you think about this $1 Game Pass where they snatched it up from folks so they can't they can't pay $1 and get Starfield?
I mean, I thought the program would be gone a lot sooner than it was, but like you said, this is gonna be the biggest draw for people to ever subscribe to Game Pass, and I think that they want to. It'll be sense to capitalize on that. Obviously, it being $1 would make people very happy, but at the same time, if it's just for one game and you letting your customers get away with it, same thing if you go to a store and they're giving out coupons and stuff, they're gonna put a hard limit on what coupons can be used for what stuff, and you can't use a coupon for this because it's brand new type thing, and like that usually sucks. I think maybe they should have cut it earlier, like a month or two ago, but that way people wouldn't be like annoyed and complaining. But it just makes sense from like a business standpoint. And anybody that has already had Game Pass for a while, they probably already locked in for months and years at this point for the $1 Game Pass thing.
Yeah, I mean, I did that a long time ago. I was doing the whole Game Gold and then kind of doing the upgrade. So, yeah, I feel like you had plenty of ample time to kind of do this conversion stuff. It's been a while since they introduced this, and I honestly thought they were going to do it the last time I did this. Like, I had 3 years or 2 years or something like that, and then I did it again and got 3 more years, and I was like, they haven't stopped this yet. They didn't stop it. So I don't want to blame people like it's your fault because you didn't do it yet, but I mean, you're going to be able to play it. It's just going to cost you what, $6 instead of the $1. I think it's the $6 a month for Game Pass. So, or is it $9.99? I think it's $9.99. It's $9.99 for the Game Pass. so that you can have the gold subscription as well. Because I don't think you can get Game Pass anymore without gold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. But yeah, I don't think that's controversy. I just think that that's people unfortunately getting blocked by Microsoft, because yeah, I am seeing a lot of people pretending or are PlayStation people that are just kind of like mad about certain things. Like I seen this, I think this was going around about Eurogamer not having like a Starfield review copy, and I was like, don't they own Digital Foundry? But then
Yeah.
I guess the Digital Foundry and Eurogamer are two different things. Like, I mean, are at least separate. And Eurogamer puts out their own review, while Digital Foundry does their online media, thing. I feel like I would not listen. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy in that regard, but I just thought that I'll leave the experts to kind of review it. But at the same time, I guess Eurogamer has a dedicated writer for reviews, and then this Digital Foundry, they don't truly do reviews. They just truly look at the technical aspect. But they, most of the time, they have their opinions and thoughts and why the game is either good or bad. And most of the time, the technical aspect of the game aligns with their thoughts about the game. If it's superior in the technical aspect, then most of the time it could be either mediocre or fine. And if it's not that great in that, most of the time they don't let that slide and say that it's a good game. So, but people were kind of calling Microsoft out, saying they were picking certain companies to provide, Starfield stuff. I've seen so many comparisons about, PlayStation. I just feel like people need to calm down. I just feel like there's like a whole thing out there right now where it's like PlayStation against Microsoft, and I don't think neither one of Microsoft nor PlayStation care about what's happening. It's just the fans that think they really have money invested in these companies that are just pushing this propaganda just left and right. Like, if you don't want to play Starfield, don't play Starfield. I'm looking for actual information about the game because I'm excited for it. And all I can get is controversy after controversy, and it's just quite annoying in that that's all I get to see. Somebody talking about how her Spider-Man 2 has boundaries and you can't go that far out of New York before you got to get pulled back, and I'm just like, this is not even the same thing, guys. Like, they're just pulling at stuff now, and it just seems like nobody really has an answer for actual legitimate information. It's just all about what can we make up in this moment so that we can get people to continue to engage with us. And that's pretty where I was like, man, let me just get off Twitter, bro, because I'm not gonna find nothing I'm actually interested in. I'm just continue to find a bunch of garbage takes, and then you see Kanye West on the boat getting randomly. I'm like, bro, what is happening right now? The world is in shambles, G. That's Jalen Boy though. That's his boy. He can't defend himself. But yeah,
That boy, don't even bring him up. I just posted on that boy finished.
That's your boy, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, Twitter is done for a little bit until they calm down. I think a lot of the console wars are just going a little too crazy over there, and I don't see nothing else. But yeah, I mean, I think Starfield's gonna be a good game, but time will tell. We only got a couple more days, and we'll see what happened there. But let's move on. I'm gonna let Josh do some talking because I've been talking a little bit too much. Warframe, Josh, give us the deets, man. we know we saw Soulframe. I guess that's like different from the Warframe. So I guess let's talk Warframe first, and then we can give a little bit about Soulframe, so we can bring the people and Jalen up to speed, because he literally thought we was joking when we said Soulframe. But we're not.
You know, I got to get Jalen up to speed. We got to go fight Captain Boar together. So, y'all know I like Warframe.
Cross save now. You know that, right, Jalen? You got cross save, man. You can bring your person on.
As long as they
know I like Warframe.
Talking about hugs.
And I haven't played it in a long time because I played it on my PS4. I don't have PS5, and they don't have any way to transfer your account to anything. So finally, they're doing cross save. So when it finally comes, I'm gonna jump back in. I probably missed like 2 years of expansions, but the main thing is about Warframe. Obviously, it's a grindy game, and you're gonna be doing loot and stuff like that. But I like it for the story. I think it does have a really good story. And with their TennoCon event, which was their convention that they had recently, they talked a lot about the next expansion, which is Warframe 1999. That's basically, it's kind of like some time travel stuff where you're going to be, I don't know if it's on Earth, but it's supposed to be the year 1999, and you're playing as a human Warframe, like before they were Warframes. And it's supposed to be you're trying to solve some sort of problem in the time that you have, or the time is going to reset and you're going to have to redo it or something like that. So they haven't shown a lot about the actual story, but that's the premise. And I think Warframe does really good expansions when it focuses on like stuff like that. Like one of my favorite ones.
Is it like a one-off thing, like Deathloop? Like it's like an actual game, but it's not tied to like progression of the regular Warframe game?
No, it's story quests like Destiny, where here's a new planet, you land on the planet, you meet the new NPC, they show you around. But the continuous story is good, like the cutscenes they have and stuff like that. The one I was mentioned is called The Sacrifice, which is really good. It focuses on like someone who like lost his son, and just like explaining his journey and how he became a Warframe, and the loss of his family affected how he changed into a Warframe. And like them going into detail about that was very interesting. And so I'm looking forward to this. The other thing that they haven't gone into is the actual gameplay changes. I don't know all of them, but they're saying that they're inspired by some stuff from Metal Gear Solid. You'll be using like regular weapons like AK-47s and stuff. And then some, somewhat of a Earth, like realistic Earth setting aesthetic. So we'll see. But that comes out next year. And then Soulframe is their new video game that they're working on, where they want to they want to mix Warframe with Dark Souls. So it's going to be another online loot game like Warframe, but in a different setting. The gameplay that they show, you have like your little dude. He has his robes and his big sword and shield, and you're walking around the forest and fighting enemies. I think the gameplay looks okay. Like it's, obviously Dark Souls inspired. What I was saying to you, I wasn't as excited about that yet because I feel like it's not going to be out for a long time. And because what they've shown is very similar, at least to some stuff I've seen in Warframe. Because like the story that they were showing for Soulframe is like you're going through the missions and you complete an objective, and then like you kind of like go into like a dream world and you're like talking to like different NPCs and friends and stuff like that. So I feel like it's not that different so far than Warframe, other than just being slow melee focused. But hopefully it's good.
Okay. No, what I can say about Soulframe, because I didn't pay attention at all to any of the Warframe stuff. But Soulframe did look intriguing enough, and from a technical aspect, honestly, there was nothing else in there that was like super engaging. I liked how clean and the the UI was and like the customer characterization and all that good jazz. Didn't feel like I had to go to a ship and change stuff. It was there in the menus and you could change stuff, which is cool. So I mean, all they have to nail, and if it's going to be free, I have to really understand how they're planning on, making this profitable. I mean, I don't really want a lot of microtransactions or stuff like that, but if that's what they have to do to make it free, that's fine with me, as long as there is a means to an end, a beginning to an end, and it's not like so dragged on and boring because there's a lot of grinding in the middle, so they can prolong the gameplay. Which, I mean, unfortunately, that is the formula for Warframe. So I don't know if it's actually, I take that back. I don't know if that is the formula for the story content. I know that's the formula for the game itself. So maybe if the story content is just straightforward and you just going through missions and you can finish it in like 6 to 7 hours or 8 hours, I'm fine with playing that, seeing how it is, seeing if there's any multiplayer, and leaving it at that. Versus if it's like, oh, you get stuck in a block and it's like Anthem where you have to do like 10 different things before you can move on to the next mission. That's going to be a problem for me. So but yeah, what I saw looks good. Had a lot of character to it, at least from all of like the creatures, people you were talking to, the voice acting. It looked like it had a lot of production behind it. So happy to see that they're thriving, happy to see that they're doing new things, because I hate a stagnant company. So I really do appreciate them actually trying something new, because it is tough to bring out a new IP, especially when your current IP is doing so well from a money and engagement perspective, So yeah. I commend you, Tenno. But
try to get Jalen on Soul Frame.
Yeah. See what he do. Everything's over with, isn't it, Jalen? Why is everything over with? Why is everything cooked with you? Why can't something just be maybe, I don't know, misunderstood, a possibility, something?
Man. All right, you're right. I say it's a possibility, but if that game anything like Warframe or Wireframe, it's over.
You mean the company that made the other? Oh, okay. You talking about the company that made this game? You said it better not be like anything they made before. That's gonna be tough.
I mean, I played Warframe, so I'm like, I gave a significant amount of time to Warframe early on in the day, but I'm not. I couldn't take that game serious. I'm like, white dude talking about giving me a hug in the middle of a fight.
Man, you love to harp on things, don't you? You can't let nothing go.
Right, I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
No, but that game it was a couple things with Warframe. Like we just talked about how Anthem had like blockades and stuff. I could be remembering this wrong, but I remember I needed something in Warframe and I didn't really know exactly where to go. I was like, I kept having to go back through missions to get like certain pieces, and
yeah, that was building a frame. I don't know if it was story content, but I do. Yeah.
So it's some stuff you got to farm for Warframes, but the early progression, you do have roadblocks where you have to have a requirement to turn in before you can move on. But that's all the early stuff. The stuff after that, like when they do the story expansions, like it's literally just a separate planet that you go to. Obviously, you have to have access to that point in the game. You can't just start from level 1. But it's a brand new planet. You just land there and do that stuff. So if you want to ignore the other stuff, the problem is you do have to get through the early game, which is mostly grind before you get to the story. So eventually they might use that. Well, yeah, we got through like 60% of that.
Why you can't just buy something to get you to the end game?
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, it was just taking time, and I'm like, I'm falling asleep on this game again, bro. And then like my weapons not leveled up and stuff like that, and then I had to. That's what I think
they would have like something that they can like boost you to like the expansion level or something. I mean, because it's not like you have to do it, but if you want to do it, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. The problem, at least, it's not like a light level like Destiny. There is no level because all your warframes, the max level is 30, and then after that, it's just all about your collection. So if you were to buy a account jump or skip, it would just have to, they give you a whole bunch of weapons and materials. Like that would be the account skip. Is not just raise your level.
I mean, I feel like they should be able to give you the materials or have some type of base guns or base mods or something that go on there, because like I said, I remember my stuff was at level 20. My Warframe was like at level, I think at the time it was 20 or 30 or something like that. But I was in there getting scraped because I ain't had the right mods and stuff to adequately go through the level. And Jalil talking about, yeah, it's just mods. And I'm like, bro, I'm not finna go through these levels trying to farm some mods and stuff like that, or do these little hold the point challenges and all that type of stuff. And then look, don't get me started on when you hold the point and you choose not to leave, extract at a certain point, and then you go to the next thing and get scraped and you walk out with nothing. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing this, man. Like, this game is taking way too much time and I keep falling asleep playing it. Like, I don't got time to go through multiple biosignatures detected. We've got
that people is Jalen's review, and I keep falling asleep on it. Don't let that be the word to come out his mouth on your game, because then it's a problem. And then I kept falling asleep on it.
Bro, I didn't play Warframe where I be knowing the quotes and stuff in the game, bro. Right? Oh my god! I'm like, what did she say? Multiple biosignatures detected. We've got infested. Like, keep going. No one knows you're here. Right? Oh my god! Man, Warframe was a labor of love for Josh, and we was trying very hard. And I remember Josh telling me about the people and the robots and how they had to sell their arms. I thought that stuff was cool. We just couldn't play it until we couldn't play it until we got up higher levels. And then I remember we had to kept going back and fighting the same mission to try to get like a frame piece or whatever, and at that point I think we stopped. But yeah, like I said, I was interested in the in-game stuff, because it's from let Josh tell it, that game was better than it's like the new best thing since sliced bread. And I wanted to see where the story started and where it got good. And I could tell they put some effort into it from a lot of the stuff that I was seeing. I just it's like a time investment. And at that point, we just coming off of Destiny. And I really wasn't ready to put no time investment into nothing else, truly. I was trying to see something cool, play it for a little bit, get off. And unfortunately, that was one of those situations where we had to put a little too much into it at the beginning to get to the good stuff. So we had tried again once Cross Save comes, because I don't even know where I played it. I think I played on the PlayStation. I don't remember. I was on the PlayStation back in 2013 with it. I'm like, bro, I can't keep playing the same mission to get 10 pieces of copper and I need 100. Like, I'm not playing this mission 10 times, bro. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but nah.
But they want you to play with friends, so it take less time. But yeah,
man, hey, nah, bro. I'm like, man, I already did.
Nah, Josh was swooping through that.
Room on you and
Josh
stuff
was
like that.
swooping through those fields, though. When we was playing with Josh, it made it a lot faster. I remember I was trying to play it alone, and then I think I started playing with Jaleel, and Jaleel got me through a few missions quickly, because they were just going through, sipping through everything, cutting stuff down, and I'm over there shooting my little guns. But yeah, I mean, it did give you that feeling of, oh man, I want to catch up with them. But I was like, bro, I ain't gonna never catch up with them. It's like too much of a large gap. I'm not finna keep doing this over and over and over. So I kind of lost to the wayside there. But enough. Josh
is really like Warframe. He played it on the Switch and he played it on the PS4.
Nah, Josh was tripping when he played on the Switch. I was like, bro, you is tripping. That just look like mud. Across the screen. I said, those JPEGs look even worse. Those things has got the big block pixels. I was like, I don't know what Josh was thinking. He played that track. I remember he wanted the exclusive Nintendo Switch skin. And now that they did crossplay, hopefully all that stuff kind of merges, so you can still have that stuff. But who knows how that works. But they did. Fortunately, they did do cross save now, so we'll see how that goes. But let's move on, because we've been talking way too much about War Nasty Armor Core. I want to visit that back because I kind of want to give Josh a task. How would you convince me to play this game, Josh? What is something you think is cool that I would enjoy, or the general masses would enjoy, that they would actually want to pick this up? Because it's got an 86 on Metacritic, and generally, I'm thinking this is a good game, and I like tough games. That's the challenge for me. So, outside of being tough, what do you think would get people to want to play?
Yeah, convince me, because I was looking.
Good thing I know personalities and tastes very well, because I can recommend it to the general audiences, but to sell it to y'all, that's a tall order. Because let's see, Armored Core. Do you like Gundam, or do you like Titanfall, or do you like Evangelion?
Zone of the Ender.
And
I like Titanfall.
Do you like? All right, you like Titanfall. Okay, why do you like Titanfall? Is it for the story and characters, or is it for the combat and the robots? Because if it's for the story and characters,
the combat and the robots, simply because, it's combat and robots, because that's what I really enjoy. I like crushing people with my mech. I like getting in the mech and then just taking people down. I like running people down with the mech. But in general, I liked how powerful you felt in the mech, but I also like that it was first person. Yeah.
Right. So good, because
go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. Why you like Gundam?
Man, it makes me moving already. No, nobody care about Char and his reincarnations, whatever you want to call them, ripoffs. Nah, but I always thought like robots and stuff was like cool. Like Custom Robo, Gundam. I used to want to play Zone of the Enders. I used to even play a little bit of this game called, like, I think it's an anime. It's like Eureka 7 and stuff. But anything with like robots and stuff
Eureka
like that,
7,
I used to be.
Yeah,
I used to be interested in that stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm as interested, but I still always appreciate like a good, robot and stuff like that. As long as they ain't moving like, ashy and they kind of like mobile and stuff like that. But I mean, if they just kind of like stiff and they moving like Big O or something like that, then I mean, then you be like, all right. So it just depends. I mean, but
yeah. So I mean, that's good, because I was gonna say, if you're looking for story and characters, you're not getting nothing like that from Armored Core. It's less
but
story.
You don't get none of that from Software. So I guess we already knew that. That was like a. That was like a more of a.
It's less. Like, it's less. Whatever you get in Dark Souls divided by 2, that's what you get in Armored Core. Like, at least in Dark Souls, like, they have item descriptions and blah blah blah. Did this, like, maybe you can find some story in there just from playing. But Armored Core, there's none of that. It's like, here's your mission. We want you to blow up this tank. Go. And when you go and you blow up the tank, sometimes you run into like a random like super strong robot and you fight them. The good thing about Armored Core, I would say, is the one, y'all all play Souls games, and I'll say like this one is the best feeling, like as far as movement, because like it's a very fast game, but like it's very responsive. Like you press jump, you jump instantly, you can fly. The movement and dodges are all very fast, so the movement of the game feels good. So I would say better than like what you say about Dark Souls, because a lot of people say like Dark Souls feels too slow or clunky and stuff like that, but like Armored Core, you don't have that problem at all. The second thing I say, the best thing, is that it's all about builds. Every piece of equipment that you have is going to change your robot in like a big way. Like the default one, you can carry a whole bunch of heavy weapons, but like right now I'm using a very light one where I can't hold a lot of weapons, but I can fly very fast, and my energy like recharges super fast. So the whole point is to figure out what builds you want to do and try to fight the bosses. The problem is it's a From Software game, and that they want you to experiment and buy a whole bunch of equipment and have a bunch of different builds for different situations. But the game is not going to teach you into that basically. It does have like tutorial and training mode, but like if you're trying to figure out the difference between an energy weapon and a ballistic weapon and like how that affects different bosses, you gonna struggle. And that's the problem that a lot of people are having, is that they go into a boss fight and they can't beat the boss, and they don't understand how, and they have to experiment on their own and look up builds and like, how am I gonna make myself, a super slow tank, but I can do one giant attack and kill the boss in 1 second. Like, that's the whole point of Armored Core, figuring out the different builds. All that to be said, I like it a lot. It's hard to describe like how fast and good the combat feels, and especially after you've like customized and tried different weapons, and then you go out there and you feel like it's a really big difference, because they added melee weapons to it, and the melee weapon is like you dash into the enemy, kind of like the Dragon Ball Z dash, like Dragon Ball Fighters, where you dash at the player and then you hit him with your sword. So like it feels very fast and fun.
What do you think? What do you think is being missed in regards to
two things,
builds, or well, not missing in the game, but missing from people being able to understand what is happening in the game and how to compete effectively. Like, what do you think is missed?
So, three things, but like you've played Forza, and like in Forza games or even Gran Turismo, you can customize your car and like you can change your engine and stuff like that.
Right.
But I personally don't know the differences between different tires and different engines and things like that in Forza. And to learn that stuff, you have to, like read the tooltips and like really study and learn the differences between these parts. And like you have to know that stuff in order to perform well. Just like in Forza, if I put the wrong tires on my car and I'm going onto a map where these tires suck and I don't know that, I'm going to be at a disadvantage. So It's the same thing with Armored Core. You have to learn all of the different stats and armor pieces. The second and third thing are related, but it's just like Sekiro is difficult, but the game is very clean. The animations are very like readable, and you can naturally pick up on this stuff. Armored Core is not that. It has a bunch of UI on the screen. The screen is cluttered with a bunch of different bars and ammo and energy meters and stuff like that. So it doesn't have clean UI. And the second thing is that the game is very fast and enemies fly. So you're going to be struggling with the camera, because like if the boss can fly around like as fast as a bee and then spin around you and then fly over your head, you have to move your camera and keep up with it. And like there's no way around it. Like you can lock onto them, but when they dodge, the dodge can get them out of the lock on, so you have to find them again. So that's the problem that a lot of people are having. Like if you watch the first tutorial boss fight online or something like that, it's a helicopter, and watching people fight that helicopter and not being able to like find it in the air because it's too fast is like the problem.
Do you think it's fair?
I'm not having a problem with it. I'll put it this way: it has two lock-ons. It has a soft lock-on. As long as you look in directly, like at their direction, it'll soft lock-on, and then it has a hard lock-on where it will, put the circle around them and hard lock onto them. It's just switching between the two, because you can't just use the hard lock on all the time, because they'll leave your view and then now you're not gonna be able to find them. I think it's fair. It's taking a lot to get used to, but if you ever play any other robot game like this other than like Titanfall, because it's first person, like if you play Gundam or any other mech game, it's this similar thing. Controlling a robot that can fly and move very fast is different. You have to learn how to do it, just like if I play like a flight simulator. I gotta learn how to fly a helicopter. Like it's gonna feel confusing because flying a helicopter on a controller is like weird.
Right.
But then once you get the hang of it, it becomes a lot easier.
Okay.
I'm sold. I'm finna get it. Congratulations.
Do you think this or Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge was harder?
I'd say Ninja Gaiden and Sekiro, for me personally, were the two hardest like action games I ever played.
No,
I don't
Ninja
think
Gaiden 3. That's why I always say it, because it sucked. But what do you? So
but
you
no,
think
I don't think this is as hard as that yet. I haven't fought like the really difficult bosses that people are talking about. But the difference is Ninja Gaiden, you have perfect execution on everything. For this, is just basically about knowledge, like how to build the right robot. And once you have the right build, you just go out there and do it. Like, I don't think it's that hard.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
One of the my bad. Two things that y'all not gonna like. You have to replay missions to earn money. Because parts are expensive, and just playing the main story, you're not gonna have enough money to keep buying stuff. And then the second thing is that it's not jank, but I know that y'all don't like jank specifically, and y'all gonna hate the camera.
So it'd be rapid.
Okay.
It'd be spinning. It'd be basically. Do it feel like it's skipping frames to catch up?
No, I mean performance is smooth. Like even on PC is really good. I played at 120, and on consoles it's at 60. Like performance is not the issue. It's just like I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to send y'all a clip. But if you see how fast the robots move, and if you imagine y'all both. If you find a boss that can move as fast as you, like you are going to be literally spinning in circles, and you have to keep up with them.
Okay.
how much time does it take to like assemble or build? Like, is that do you spend a significant amount of time doing any of that type of stuff, or is it kind of more straightforward?
In the beginning, no, because you don't have a lot of options. Like you got a tiny bit of money, and it's only like one or two things to buy in the store. So in the beginning, you're just testing out different stuff. Like I want a shotgun, I want a sniper type thing, and then eventually, once you're further in the game and the shop is full of like hundreds of items, then yeah, it's gonna take more time. But it's not. I would say it's like I said, it's not mandatory. But definitely, when you get to a boss fight, and it's a boss that can like shoot you with a laser from across the screen, you're gonna have to figure out what is gonna help me either get close to that boss, or what is gonna be able to help me fight him from super far away. And so from that point, yeah, you're gonna have to do a little bit of like research and stuff like that. But
how long is the missions?
The missions are super quick, like 5 minutes.
Okay. I was
You know,
hearing
good on the
people like
PS5?
playing for like 30 minutes and then they had to restart and they was getting upset. So I was like, that's tough.
No, the boss fights maybe, but the difference about this one and the old games is that in the old games you didn't have checkpoints. At least in this one, if you get to a boss, they're going to give you a checkpoint right in front of the boss.
Okay. But is there any exploration in this game?
No.
Okay, straight to the point. So it's just action packed then, I would think, right?
Like, yeah, it's just a big arena, a big square arena. It has a couple objectives for the main mission, and then some missions it'll have like a boss on the map that you have to go to and fight. But it's not like an open world game. Each mission is you load into a different area.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be something I have to try. I don't know when, but it's like more so.
I'll say
try
feel it. But it's fun. I say it's definitely worth giving it a try. Once it's on sale, see if you like this type of game. Y'all might enjoy it a lot, but yeah, it's difficult to learn all of that like stuff about like how to build the robot.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate it. Give us a little more insight, for sure. But I'm gonna go to Jalen. Jalen, you gonna get you a PlayStation Portal? If you don't know what
I seen
PlayStation
a
Portal
little bit
is,
about that is,
okay.
and I was wondering what I started to look into it, but what did I read about it? It was just real brief. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Is it just something that like streams the PS5, or is it like actually its own thing, like its own personal?
It just
got specific games for it.
Streams PS5
Okay, that's
games.
what I thought.
So you got own a PS5, but it streams it through over Wi-Fi in or out the house, where you can play your PS5 games, but you have that functionality on your phone if you really wanted it to.
Yeah, no, I won't get one of those because anytime I'm out the house, I'm not playing it. So
Yep. So the PlayStation Portal, I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown of what this is, what it is capable of, and the gimmicks behind it. So, this game is not a cloud-based game. You cannot play their cloud-based games on this PlayStation Portal. You can, even though they're doing a push for cloud gaming, you cannot do that. You have to own the PS5, and it has to be in REST mode to stream these games to the PlayStation Portal, in or outside your house. It's over Wi-Fi. It's 1080p, 60 FPS. The thing about this thing is that you think that's where it will stop. You know, like, oh man, you can't really use the PlayStation outside. You can't use cloud gaming. There's really only one function thing for $200. Oh, okay, that's okay. But then they slap on the fact that this thing does not have Bluetooth. In this modern day and age, you cannot use Bluetooth headphones with this. You have to buy an extra $200 headset if you want wireless headphones to work with this thing. I mean, you can do wired because it has a 3.5 millimeter jack, because all controllers have 3.5 millimeter jacks. But you cannot use wireless headbuds with this thing. And in a digital age of it being 2023, I think Sony is just, to put it plainly, pretty slow. I don't know who this is for. I literally can do this with my Steam Deck using Chiaki. Maybe not take it out the house, but I really wouldn't be playing my PlayStation 5 games outside the house most of the time. I am not that dedicated, and there's plenty of other things to do outside the house than play PlayStation on portable PlayStation. So yeah, this is like most useful aspect of this thing is to play it in bed. Unfortunately, I already have that functionality and it's free. So, $399 Steam Deck that does way more, or $199 touchscreen with two controllers on, with a controller on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
No, started on the battery life.
Oh my god, it is the same battery life of a DualShock controller, and I mean a DualSense controller, and trust me, it's not good. It has the haptics, it has all those, so it just knows it's killing that battery faster than you can think. I don't know who this is for. Let me open it up to the floor. What do you guys think about the PlayStation Portal? And well, let me start here. What's one positive you can think of about this PlayStation Portal being on the market?
You ain't got to worry about. You can be away from your PS5 without having to worry about the low battery DualShock 5 dying.
It's still gonna die, but because that is now just attached controller to the touchscreen, and that is as a DualSense. So
I'm trying to be positive here. I'm not
okay. I don't want to eat you up. You're right. Josh, what about you? Positive.
I mean, yeah, since they said they're not using Bluetooth or whatever, they're using like a direct link to the system, kind of like the Wii U gamepad, and that means streaming it should be ideally very good, like with very little latency, and then image-wise should look good, and it's gonna run at 60, hopefully. So that means you should have a good experience playing on this, even if like your Wi-Fi situation at home is not the best. Since it has a more direct connection to the PS5, that's good. And that's it.
So I want to make sure I double check, but I think the direct link is only meant for Bluetooth audio devices, not the game. I think the game itself, you have to have Wi-Fi, and it goes through a Wi-Fi connection. So requires a broadband internet Wi-Fi with at least 5 megabytes for use. For better PlayStation experience, a high-speed connection of at least 15 megabytes is recommended.
That means Jalen, you might want to buy this.
I already bought it.
So the wireless audio is the only thing that's going to be using the new PlayStation Link software. Honestly,
watch your game, listen to your game, skip frames.
Honestly, it feels as if it is the biggest cash grab I've ever seen in my life, and it's worthless in a lot of aspects, but I do like the simplicity of picking something up and having my game move with me. But unfortunately, I have built things in my life that will be able to do that for me without having a problem. Like that Steam Deck is my ultimate streaming machine because it's low latency, it truly has a good connection, and I love how great it feels when I'm playing any game. Either I'm streaming it from my PC, streaming it from my Xbox, or streaming it from my PlayStation. I set up all my consoles on it except for the Switch, and I really enjoy it because it's fun and it's easy. If I and I love that feature, but if I didn't have that feature, I'd be looking for it elsewhere. But I would want that form factor to be more than just one thing. And now, unfortunately, it's literally just one thing. Like, it doesn't have cloud gaming. It doesn't have me to give me the ability to not play games I own, or even the games I own through cloud. Like, can I pull up remote play, stream the cloud game, and then stream that cloud game to my PlayStation Portal? It seems like there's going to be a hassle when literally they can make an app for cloud gaming, allow this device only to be that one device that can do that, or even give it to just Android and applications. Android, and allow it to work, because this is nothing but an Android tablet stuck to a DualSense. Like, literally, they have already uncovered that. So I don't know, man. $200 is crazy to me. And I honestly don't feel like it's worth it, but yeah, I was trying to find something positive.
The thing I was gonna say, I'm looking at it like I like the Vita and the PSP, and I wish that they had another handheld. I'll be interested into it. So, but this doesn't solve any of those needs. Like, the thing itself, like, I hate the form factor that is just a screen on the controllers, and like I think about trying to store this or carry it around, and it's gonna be awful. Because like if you ever put your controller in like a bag, like that mug is not gonna work when you take it out.
That mug is awful, dude.
And this thing is gonna be terrible. And you know the sticks are gonna stop working after 3 months. And Sony is not very good at letting you repair the parts yourself. You're gonna have to send that mug into the and get your warranty fixed. At least with the Steam Deck, like if you want to buy the part yourself, you can just buy it online and replace it. But this $200 down the drain. If you have the money to waste to use it, like I'm sure there'll be some people to have fun with it, but like there are way better options to play PlayStation games in your house.
And with the whole, I think I seen something new came out with the Steam Deck getting an upgrade on its screen. Like a lot of people were buying and modding their thing to
replacing the screen.
Yeah, replacing the screen to have a better picture. Like, I don't need nothing else. So it's tough.
And
it's tough sale on PlayStation.
Not OLED, right?
Say that again.
It's not OLED, right? The PlayStation Portal.
No, it's just an LCD screen.
Okay.
No, I would think that would be a positive. It was like an OLED screen with like very good color contrast. Like from what I can tell, it's a very standard 1080p LCD screen. Yeah. Moving on. Have you heard about the whole Baldurs Gate 3 Acts 2 and 3 being rushed or feeling like it's too buggy? Have you heard about that?
I have. If you want to introduce it, I can talk about it, I guess.
Well, I was looking online and I've seen a lot of articles popping up about Baldurs Gate, and bugs and missing content becoming a problem as more players near the end. I understand that this game is big. But I've seen IGN had an article and they had something going on. Game is amazing, but Act 3 is a disaster. I don't know what's going on, but it feels like Act 3 wasn't tested at all. Right now I have 11 quests under Baldur's Gate section. 6 out of them cannot be completed. Some of them bugged out at the end of the quest. Some of them are dead almost at the beginning. At this point, I'm afraid of playing more. If I won't be able to complete more than half of the side quests, some of them I play part in the main story, so it's even worse. A lot of people are upset. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, for not just this company, but like RPGs, like PC RPGs, a lot of them end up like this, where not to say that the games are supposed to be buggy, but like when they come out, since the games are so big, they're gonna have a lot of bugs, and they fix them over time. And after a year, they always update the game to like a definitive edition, which is gonna have all the updates, all the fixes, and then extra DLC. Witcher did it. I guess Cyberpunk is now doing it, but like a lot of these RPGs do that. And for this company specifically, the last 2 games, they had some bugs and stuff, but they fixed them. And they put out free DLC and then put out like the director's cut or enhanced edition for free for people who already owned it. So I think that is to not say it should be expected, but it's kind of normal, I guess, for a lot of these PC RPGs. That being said, Act 2 and Act 3 probably were not tested at all because they had early access and they had early access people playing it and testing it and fixing the game, but they only could play Act 1. So Act 1 is pretty good without many bugs and stuff like that because that's the part that was tested the most. It had the most people playing it, but nobody played Act 2 and 3 in early access, so the game is going to be more buggy. That being said, since I'm not playing the game right now, I can't speak to it specifically, but they've been releasing patches every week and stuff, so I think it will get better over time and they will fix it. But yeah, I guess if you can wait, and it's a long RPG anyway, so like wait a month or 2, maybe even longer, we'll see, but they should fix all of that stuff.
There has
I
been
guess what I want to say is that the positive thing is that they don't leave the game buggy like some companies. They actually fix it, but it will take time.
Yeah, I've seen something about Minthara. She's been getting fixed. I guess some of her lines were bugged and stuff like that. But I have seen stuff come out for bugs. Do you feel like this should be a knock to their scores? Do you think that this should be even should this even be a thing? Do you think, or do you? Because remember when we played Cyberpunk and we was like, man, it's buggy, but it's fun and it's good, it's enjoyable. Do you feel like because some of the bugs may be game breaking that they should deserve a knock, or no?
I mean, sure, if you can't complete the game, you can't complete the main quest, and you gotta like start over, then yeah, like sure, that's a terrible experience. You can't finish the game. If there's some side quests that you can't finish, I personally don't mind. Maybe I just don't do that side quest right now, or wait for them to fix it and then I finish it. But it depends. Like with Cyberpunk, I felt the game behind all the bugs was still good enough that any bugs I can overlook them. But that's going to depend person to person, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think that if you play Act 1 so much and liked it a lot, then it might suck to, I guess, like have to wait for bugs fixes. But I think the game at its core is probably still worth the praise.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this, honestly. I think I was never going to get to it soon, so I can't have it. I don't have a stake in this game, but I think that someone purchasing the game should have the right to be able to finish it without any critical bugs. A lot of people were able to finish it, or maybe they pretended to finish because a lot of reviews got them out and they were saying that they finished it. But for it to be like a big problem for some, it tells me, maybe not. So we'll see. I think the game being so large is bound to have some glitches, some issues, but I give them the benefit of the doubt because honestly, I was going to wait. And I think what they provided already, they provided 3 games for the price of 1. To be honest, Act 1 itself is it's a game in its own.
Yeah, I've seen people talking about 20, 30 hours for Act 1.
Yeah, so I feel like they kind of gave you enough, but I don't want to give them like that much of a slide because it is still a bad thing. But you are getting your money's worth when it comes to these RPGs that really have a lot of replayability and things like that. So bear with them as they fix the game. Don't give them a slide, but you have to understand that some of these games are so large that they can't test everything. Okay, well that's what I wanted to kind of cover off on Baldurs Gate. Super Mario's Wonders got a direct next week, Josh, and this is a game that I'm actually excited about. So 10 a.m. August 31st. Be there or be square. Do you think this game is enough to put Nintendo back on the mess? I know, just putting on the map. Do you think this is a good game to look forward to? Do we think that this is a game for Jalen? This is a game for the masses? Do you think? What is your thoughts about this, Jalen? Do you find yourself getting excited for Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Do you think them adding a new element to the game is going to be interesting? Have you seen anything about it? Do you know anything about it, or not? Really?
Nah, just fine. Nah, we had. I think I talked about this on the last or not the last podcast, but one of the more recent ones. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was a week or 2 ago.
It might have been. It might have been last week too.
It's one of the games that I was potentially interested in getting. Mm-hmm. I probably won't get it, but yeah, potentially interested in getting. Probably it's just because of the price threshold. I'm not doing that. But the fact that they changed up the formula with Mario a little bit, I guess it kind of particularly caught my interest because, as you guys know, I'm gonna like to harp and complain about things, and I got tired of them making new Super Mario Bros. And those games been insane. They add another little gimmick to it, but you still go through the same 8 worlds. You got your desert world, your lava world, your ice world, all that type of stuff. And they've been doing this for the past at least 10 years. Or they started with the DS when they made it in like 2004 or something like that, but they kept this repetitive trend or whatever. So seeing as though they trying something a little bit different, it gives me a little bit, make me feel a little bit better. And the way they're doing things, it kind of seemed a little bit more interesting. I haven't seen any gameplay in it for a little bit of time, but I did remember watching a couple of videos about the game. And, I didn't spend watch a couple of videos. I might have watched like 1 or 2 videos and stuff and kind of like when they was revealing it, but it wasn't nothing, I just thought it was a little bit more interesting though, because it's the new Super Mario Bros. Game. And they're doing something different, just a little bit more different than what they was doing the other one. So I'm like, all right, y'all step in the right direction.
Nah, I agree. And that's why I was like, okay, this might be something me and Karina could play because she's not really good at the 3D aspect of it. Maybe 2D might be a little bit better for her. A little bit more interesting. Some new mechanics that we can enjoy together. It's obviously these are like the king of co-op. Local player games. Like I don't know nobody that do it better than Nintendo. So I was like, I give it a shot. I mean, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking of like as he stated, the cost versus what you're gonna get. Like, is this enough to? And that's kind of why I want to watch the Nintendo Direct. Is it enough for me to feel like I'm not getting scammed and I could just buy an older version, still $60, but I could buy an older version or something like that that might be a little bit better? Or if this is going to be the one that really makes it feel like, oh, they should really get that 60 out of me. Because I ain't going to lie. I mean, I don't care to be spending that much money on a game that I potentially might not play that often, and has little to low replayability. I understand that they like to do collectibles and all that good jazz, but you played it once, you played it. You played it enough. You played it once, you played it as many times as they're gonna probably try to shove it down your throat. But yeah, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt because it looked very interesting. I like the art style, I like how they updated a few things, and I want to see some of the new powers and things that he can do because that's the joy of it. It's just kind of exploring and experimenting with these types of worlds. So, any excitement from you on the Mario front, Josh?
No. Personally, I played this new Super Mario games on the DS and the Wii, and they were okay. But I liked the 3D world a lot more. I feel like it captured the same idea of platforming through the world, but since it was 3D, it gave an extra dimension to the game. And made it more fun. So then returning to 2D is fine, but I would never play this game by myself. Because the last one I bought for the Wii U, I didn't even finish it. Yeah, I prefer the 3D Mario experience, but it is fun co-op. I really like playing 3D World co-op with y'all. So
yeah, okay. Well, let's kind of move into our next. I mean, we got like two more topics. All right, let's talk about Sea of Stars. So it came out today, right? 29th, right?
Yes, I think so.
So it's getting some good reviews, Josh. I know the last time you mentioned this, you were talking about it being like I forget what clone it was, but
Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger, right? So now that it came out, we saw some reviews for it. People are 10 out of 10 in this game, down, up and down. What we thinking? It's a demo. Did y'all play the demo? Anybody play the demo?
I have not played the demo because this is, not a good time to release your game, but it's a good game, so it can, find its own audience. But I'm not gonna have time to touch for a while. But yeah, a lot of people at least were saying in the reviews that it's fans of those old games like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. They're putting in the work to go further than that and make the game better, not just copy what came before. Which is always good to hear because I played a lot of RPGs like I Am Setsuna that says it's Chrono Trigger inspired, but it's like a worse clone than Chrono Trigger. So why wouldn't I just play Chrono Trigger? So I'm interested in that at least. The art style and the music is what got me interested at first, but seeing that the story and the overall world does go someplace is good. I can't find out how long it is. Oh, 30 hours. Well, 30 hours. So 30 hours is not a short time, but it's not 50. So I might be able to play it, but let's see. What'd you see about Sea of Stars, D'Angelo?
I didn't see much about it outside of the good scores. Honestly, I don't know much about it. I kind of wanted to pick y'all brain and kind of get some information on it. But I mean, when you explain Chrono Trigger, honestly, I don't know much about Chrono Trigger. So what I'm looking at now is just demo information. It looks like turn-based RPG, kind of Final Fantasy-ish.
Yeah.
And that's
I think this game is not. Chrono Trigger is turn-based, but it has some real-time elements to it, where your positioning and the attacks that you do actually move you around. So it's not like you just standing, in your spot. You never move, kind of like Persona. But anyways, that they're saying that the combat in this one is a lot more fast paced and a lot more active, so it's not strictly like a turn based RPG. That makes it more interesting that you can get creative and the combat can challenge you, and you're not just picking menus all the time. And it has a lot of customization as far as like equipment and classes and stuff like that. IGN gave it an 8, but the 8 is actually the lowest I've seen so far for it.
Yep.
Most higher.
Most are giving 10 out of 10s and like 9s. So, yeah, it's one of those games that if I have some time to play at some point, it might be a Steam Deck game that I just play occasionally. But it's probably never going to get beaten. So it'd probably be one of those games that you know I play periodically, but never beat it. So it is what it is. You finna download the demo?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it this weekend on the plane.
Oh, okay. Look at them playing video games and whatnot. What can I say? I like games. What can I say?
Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, I'm going to see Equalizer 3 this weekend. They gave it an 8 out of 10 on IGN. I got to see my man's Denzel beat up on some more folks. It's hilarious and always the greatest. So,
no, I'm not going to see any movies. Honestly, I don't even know what's coming out for the rest of the year.
It ain't nothing good. I mean, I don't know. Outside of Dune got pushed back. I don't think there's anything else that I was like super, super interested in. There's like a lot of catch up I gotta do, but no movies that I was like, oh, this is good. I really want to see the Jennifer Lawrence movie that came out. I don't even know what it's called. But I mean, yeah, I don't really have anything else.
Equalizer.
Yeah,
you want to see Equalizer, Jalen?
Yeah.
You said it again?
He going to see Equalizer 3. Of course he is.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like seeing the movies, but I did enjoy. I did. I can't say I don't remember seeing the first one all the way. I did enjoy the second one, but I mean, you can't go wrong with hearing Denzel remarks and stuff. And he just dog walking people. Like, you like, man, this dude always got something smart to say, and then back it up, bro. Gotta love it,
bro. He out there with his watch, man. He out there with the watch.
Time and stuff, boy.
7 seconds. Wait, he about to chop. Get ready to chop. Yeah. I don't really know. There's nothing else. Like the Marvels is coming out in November. There's nothing really that I'm interested in. Oh, I did want to see Napoleon, but that come out on my birthday. No, it don't. But I do want to see Napoleon.
Aquaman?
You
don't want to see Aquaman?
No, not really. But I mean, I didn't want to see any of the other movies either. So I haven't seen Flash, haven't seen Blue Beetle, even though they said Blue Beetle was a good time. That's probably the only one I give a shot because I don't have any expectations, and I don't find it to have any ties to the universe at all right now. So I'm fine with watching it. But yeah. That's about it for me. I mean, only thing else that I was going to mention was that I'm kind of interested in playing Avatar now. After I seen that showcase they did for that game, I was like,
yeah,
The last Airbender game that they coming out with?
Nah, the Pandora game, Ubisoft, UB Nasty, doing a game for them. But it looked at actually.
He back in.
I'm back in, baby. I said, blue people, Far Cry blue people. Oh, count me in. I was like the foliage, but overall, I like the verticality aspect of the game. I was like, man, that might be cool to actually just be flying around in that game, but I feel like I'm just gonna get stuck in a Ubisoft cycle, and I'm like, man, this ain't gonna be fun. I just wanted to see it be more unique than what they normally put out, and I feel like they're gonna just use they're gonna cover all the mechanics up with nice foliage and big, large people, but at the end of the day, it's still the same game. But it looked good. It looked nice. I felt like this showing was a lot more cleaner. I guess it's because it was the PC one being shown up, but it didn't feel jittery. It didn't look like it was like dropping frames. It didn't feel like it was janky. It felt smooth. It felt like the animations were, polished. And yeah, I really liked it. The whole, riding on some of the animals, riding on the flying wing. I forget what they call them. But everything else looked like that aspect of it looked cool. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it. I like the Avatar world, but I don't know if I want to spend I'm not gonna spend no $80 on it. Obviously, I mean $69.99 on it, so it's probably gonna be one of those games that I pick up bargain bin later down the line. But we'll see, because Ubisoft games usually don't come to Steam, and they have to go through that Uplay thing. So I'm not gonna pick it up on the Steam. I'm gonna have to play it on my Xbox.
It might, but I don't know, because recently they've been transferring their stuff to Steam, but not all games. So it could be a possibility, but yeah, I wouldn't want to buy it on Uplay either.
No, I don't want to do that at all. So, so yeah, I mean, it depends. Maybe I just get that subscription for a month. 'Cause I think it's like $6.99 or $8.99, and just play it a little bit and see if I enjoy it and go from there. Because it is a Ubisoft Plus day one title. So subscriptions are the future, baby. Just get ready for it. Hopefully they don't try to lock you into a contract. No, you gotta pay 24 months. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can see Ubisoft Plus pulling off some stuff like that. They said, no, you gotta sign this contract, Playboy. Like, what you mean contract, bro? It's cancel anytime. He said, not over here. Not this way. Not over here, boy. We know your tricks. But yeah, outside of that, I ain't really have much. Anything y'all wanted to cover off on, or are we good?
When that Starfield review gonna be ready, Deontay?
First thing out, baby.
You got a couple days off, right?
Yeah, I got a couple of days off. Don't get me wrong. I might have that bug out by Sunday. I just might have a little short ready for y'all. I'll tell y'all a little about what I played by Sunday. Giving y'all a little of that. My flavor.
Here first unbiased Starfield review. He ain't in Microsoft / Bethesda pockets.
Oh my god, bro.
Real and unfiltered.
I really hope it's good. I like, I'm gonna be real mad if I'm looking at this controller and it ain't good. I mean, the controller dope. I'm like, you can't have this good of a merch and the game be trash. But they can, and they will. So we'll see. But
maybe Redfield ain't had nothing.
Redfall had a controller, right?
They had a controller?
I thought they had a controller.
I guess it's Microsoft. They can have a controller for everything.
Yeah, they can have a design for a Redfall controller, but nah. I think everybody knew that junk was gonna fail. But yeah, they had a limited edition. They had 5 controllers. G. Wow, that is embarrassing. They said they sold out. That's a lie. They took them off the market, more than likely. People really be buying collector edition stuff. They just suckered me into this one, but you know what? I'm not gonna keep mentioning it. I'm embarrassing myself like that. But I appreciate them making something cool. Hopefully the game is cool too. That's all I'm gonna say on it. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. As usual, if you got to this part, you the real OG. We want to thank you guys for watching, tuning in, rating, whatever you doing to help us out. We appreciate. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, continue to play games how you want to, not how someone tells you to. You can own both PlayStation and Xbox. You can own a PC. You can own a Switch. And if you have to choose one, don't make it a war for the rest of us, you know? Just play your games. Like, what can I say? We like games. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you all in the next one. Peace.